Easy weight.
Solid looking over there for Carolina with 90 kilos. That lift is
Welcome to Integrated Wellness Warrior, where we believe in building a strong body, a clear mind, and a whole life. I'm Malia, a personal trainer and social worker, and here we integrate physical fitness with mental well-being to help you become your healthiest, happiest self. So today I'm going to be discussing how I injured my back, and I should say how I injured my back most recently. I've had several back injuries before, but this one so far has been the most serious. So I've been in pain kind of for several months. It's really affected the way that I train, but it's also really affecting my mood and my mental health. So I've been weightlifting and training with barbells for about 15 years at this point. So over the years, I've obviously changed my techniques, my body has changed, but I've really been consistently lifting throughout that time. When I first started lifting, probably a few months after I started, I had this freak accident where I fell down a set of icy stairs, and I had a lot of soft tissue damage and a lot of nerve damage in my lower back. But I've always been able to train around it. I always lift very carefully, pay a lot of attention to my form, and I also really focus on mobility work, core work, prehab, and I never get under a barbell unless I'm really fully warmed up. So I've been able to train around this injury for all this time. My numbers have been consistently going up. I've been getting stronger throughout the years, and I've always had my sights set on training competitively, but for whatever reason, over the years, it just never really worked out. So I really dialed in my training, my nutrition this year, and I decided 2024 was going to be the year that I finally competed with the USA Powerlifting Federation. So I was so excited. I trained so hard, and I signed up for my first powerlifting competition in Orlando, Florida in May of 2024. So my whole goal for this competition, I didn't expect to win or take medals or set records in anything. I really just wanted to see how it would go, wanted to kind of get a feel for it, see how I would perform. So the numbers that I picked to lift were really very conservative. I just wanted to make sure it was something I knew that I could lift. I did get two red lights, two failed lifts, one on my squat and one on the bench press, really just for kind of silly things. I missed my call. The one on my bench press, I just kind of freaked out and my leg locked up. So I didn't get that lift, but everything else I got. And I even kind of set a new PR for myself, especially on bench press here. I think my highest lift was 175. So I was really pleased with that. So I wasn't too worried about squat and bench press, but the one I was really worried about was deadlift. Because I've had this back injury for years and years, deadlift has always been my weakest event. But I was really pleasantly surprised on meet day that the barbell seemed to just fly right up. And I honestly left feeling like I had more in the tank and that I could have lifted more. I was really surprised that I ended up taking first in my weight class and in my age bracket. So I left that competition so excited, and I couldn't wait to do another competition. So I got home, I kept training, dialed in my training, dialed in my nutrition, and I was set to add quite a bit of weight to my total in the next competition in July. So here you can see in the squat on the right, I attempted in February. I could not do it, but by June, I had it no problem. So I felt really, really good going into this until about 2 weeks before the competition. I had a really heavy squat workout and I had a lot of pain shooting down my right leg, which I knew was not good. But I wanted to do this competition anyway. The day of the meet, I didn't have any pain, but my right leg was extremely weak. I had pins and needles. It was numb in a lot of it. So I was really, really nervous the day of the competition. I didn't know what would happen. And as you can see here in my squat attempt, I got down and realized that I had no support from my right leg at all. It was basically more of a kickstand at this point, and any weight I was moving at all was all from my left leg. So I bombed out on all 3 squats, and I was really freaking out. I had to beg them to let me to continue with the push-pull events. So bench press, I was still really nervous, and just I was so in my head after those failed squats. I was really pleased that I was able to get my first lift. The second lift, I don't think I was able to complete. I was pushing the bar up, but without that leg drive from my right leg, the bar started to come back down on its way up, which if you know the USAPL rules, you know is not okay. So I got red lights on this second one, but by the third lift, I tried it again. I had done some more mobility work and stretching in between, and I was able to get the last one and set a PR for myself at 185 pounds. So here comes deadlift. I changed all my openers after seeing how badly things were going in the other ones. So these lifts were super, super light, like ridiculously lighter than even a warm up. You can see in the second and third attempts here, I'm having to rely completely again on my left leg to do it. And especially here in the third one, you can see that I have to sway and kind of rock myself to the side to be able to get this bar up off the ground. I really thought I wouldn't get it, but I was really pleased that I got all of those. So after the competition, I was still in a tremendous amount of pain. This was me on my trip to Mexico, which was supposed to be to celebrate my awesome victory there. But here I was in so much pain that I really couldn't walk more than like 45 seconds to a minute at a time. So it's really, really been bumming me out. I really wish I could train the way I used to, but here's what I'm doing now. I'm just back to like mobility work, strengthening my core, trying to keep my hips open, low back strong, and I'm going to share some more of those in another video. But it's just really, really bothering me physically and mentally. Any of you ever had a injury that's preventing you from training, stopping you from training the way that you want to train? Go ahead and share it in the comments, and we'll talk about some strategies to help us get through these challenges.